All right, 1 2. Hey, 1 2. Y'all forgive me. I'm getting here. I'm actually still setting stuff up, but I ran on in the house and ran down here and turned everything on, and I just caught the very end of Wyatt. Caught the very end of Wyatt going off. So if like we were operating as a tandem, as a team, as like a network, I'd have caught it just in time. Like Wyatt went off, the afternoon experiment came on. That's the way it would have worked out. But welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I am with you until about 5 o'clock. This is Thursday. That means I got to run over and do Bible study again tonight. I was so frustrated last night. Y'all don't understand. Look, and I don't know how to make y'all understand. I had everything hooked up. Hold on, let me see if I can. I want to show y'all. Because again, I just ran in. Just did this. Hold on, I'm gonna do this real quick. Boom. That's my uh Apple TV. I got it hooked directly into the system. Boom. You'll
Against
see
Ukraine
the
as the
channel
country
that it's
celebrated
on.
its Independence
You'll
Day.
see the
Martha?
channel that it's
Trey, thank you
on.
very much. Trey Yanks in
Just
Jerusalem.
by
Let's bring in Brett
optics.
Velkovich,
App.
former U.S. Army Special Operations Intelligence Officer and a Fox News contributor. Brett, good to have you with us. Thank you for being here. I'm curious about your thoughts on this, and I find it interesting in Trey's report to see those people laying roses for Yevgeny Prigozhin, that there was affection for him in Russia, even though he tried to mount a coup against his former friend, the leader Vladimir Putin.
For it.
Well, Martha, I mean, he was seen as a hero in some of these Russian circles, but the fact is he made a lot of enemies, and a lot of people saw this coming. I think it's becoming incredibly clear this was a deliberate act. Now, I'm no aviation investigator, but just from the public footage alone, you can see how the plane rapidly descended vertically with a destroyed wing. Plus, you had local eyewitnesses reporting hearing some sort of explosion in the air. So there was likely some sabotage on board. This particular aircraft, it was a well-known method for his travel inside Russia. So it would have been nothing for insiders to conduct a deliberate act of sabotage. But this was likely some sort of payback for Prigozhin and his Wagner troops seizing key Russian military sites and storming his mercenaries toward Moscow a couple months back. When he did this, he became a threat to Putin's rule. He put a target on his back. And I think the phrase "don't bite the hand that feeds you" is applicable here. The one thing that seemed to be protecting him for these last couple of years of internal defiance was that he maintained close ties to Putin. And that seemed to be enough, even when he would go on social media from the front lines of Ukraine and call out and challenge Russian authority, repeatedly criticize the Russian defense minister, the head of their army. But it was when he stormed those troops towards Moscow in an act of mutiny against Putin, that was the mistake.
Yeah, I can't hear it. So I was prepared to go live and watch the debate with y'all last night. And I spent half the debate trying to get the sound and everything together. I still haven't 100% figured out why it's not working. But I will. Yeah, I should be able to hook up my Apple TV to the switcher. Boom, put it on. And then y'all can hear it, but I can't hear it. So I wouldn't have been able to hear the debate. So y'all don't understand. Yesterday, I wasn't going to be on yesterday. Hold on, y'all still can't hear me? Okay, y'all can hear me. Yeah, no, Janice says, what's going on? I was trying to show y'all I was prepared last night to do the debate. And y'all can hear, I got my Apple TV connected to my switcher. Y'all can hear it. And the sound apparently is quite strong, but I can't hear it. And I got it running through the board, so I should be able to hear it. But something ain't operating the way it's supposed to be operating. So I spent, again, half the debate trying to figure out what was going on. And then I said, let me run upstairs and watch the second half of the debate because I couldn't hear any of it, but I saw it. Nice, good, crystal clear picture. I was ready. I was so frustrated yesterday and then last night. Now, yesterday, I didn't make the show because, I like saving money. And my ice maker went out on the refrigerator. Mrs. Livingston be getting frustrated. Like, just call the repairman. I'd be like, why? Why call a repairman to fix something that I know I can fix? At least give me a shot. You know what I'm saying? At least give me a shot. Let me try to fix it. So she's like, okay, go ahead, try to fix it. But if you ain't fixed it, at a certain time, I'm just calling the repairman. They'll be here tomorrow. I'm like, all right, let me try. So that's what I did yesterday. And guess what? The ice maker is fixed. I figured it out myself. So that was what I did yesterday. I fixed the thing. Fix the ice maker. That's what I did yesterday. Look, here's the funny thing about it. Somehow I'm like intuitively learning this stuff, right? Because normally, look, I got about 300 degrees from YouTube University. About 300 degrees from YouTube University. And I was looking up stuff on YouTube to try to figure out how to fix the ice maker. Because if you don't know this, because you wouldn't know this unless you know me. I love me a big glass or tumbler, not glass, a big tumbler of ice water. And I find the biggest tumbler I can find that'll fit in the thing. Well, I don't have to find them now. I know exactly which ones they are. And I find put it in there, fill it up with ice, fill it up with water, drink. I love it. Hold on. Somebody said, didn't you fix the same ice maker last year? No. I did do something else to the refrigerator. What was going on with the refrigerator last year? I don't remember exactly what it was, but I did fix something last year on the refrigerator. That it was just a small part that went bad, and I just bought the part and replaced it. But no, the ice maker, there's been nothing. I've not had any issues except for now these two issues with this refrigerator for the life of the refrigerator. Mrs. Livingston says it's probably about time to buy a new refrigerator. I think we've had this refrigerator for like 12 years. And she's like, it just might be time for a new refrigerator. I'm like, because of two small issues. Again, I had the one little piece that I replaced last year. And I fixed the ice maker this year. I'm like, my grandmama had the same refrigerator from the time I could remember to the time she passed away. Medea had the same refrigerator for at least 50 years. Why I got to replace a refrigerator every 12 years? No. I can fix it. And I got up there and I don't know, with no help, because I didn't find anything online that dealt with the problem that I was having. And I got in there and I fixed it. So, hey, I'm happy. And now my ice thing, my ice tray, I guess you would call, ice bucket, whatever it is full with nice, wonderful, cold, delicious, refreshing ice. So that's what happened yesterday afternoon. That's what happened. Then yesterday evening, or last night, 9:00, I was ready to go with the debate like I showed y'all, and I can't hear it. So I would have just been sitting here looking at the camera, but missing the debate. So I missed about the first half of the debate, had to go upstairs and sit with Mrs. Livingston and watch the last portion of the debate. And here's what I'll say. Oh, hold on. Let me grab a few. Things are not made the same. Parts are inferior. Yes, they are. And look, as long as she can say what she want to say, that's a perfectly good refrigerator. Like, if I showed you the refrigerator, like took a picture of it, you'd be like, oh, you buying a new refrigerator. She takes really good care of the refrigerator. Ain't no dings on it. Ain't no scuffs on it. no nothing. It looked like a brand new refrigerator. It runs beautifully. Just had those two issues. Now, we're different. Like I said, she like, just go buy a new refrigerator. I'm like, but I can fix it. And it cost me $0. $0. I can't tell y'all exactly what I did to fix it because I halfway don't know. I only halfway know what I did. I know a few things that I did, and then I think I got lucky. I did a few things, and then I think I got lucky. But, yeah, no, things ain't made the same. Medea had that same daggone refrigerator from the time I was born to, and I went and lived down there in college. It was the same refrigerator. I'm sorry, the same Frigidaire. It wasn't actually a Frigidaire, but Medea always called it the Frigidaire. So I imagine at some point in her life, she actually had a Frigidaire. But this one was like a GE refrigerator, and she still called it the Frigidaire. Go give me a Coke out the Frigidaire. It's a refrigerator. It's not Frigidaire. It's a brand. It's a brand, Medea. It's not the Frigidaire. It's the refrigerator. And she'd let me get my whole spill out, and she'd be like, I'm still waiting on that Coke. It's not a Frigidaire. Bring her here from the refrigerator. All right. The next thing you know, go get me so-and-so out the Frigidaire. Or put that in the Frigidaire. It's not a Frigidaire. It's a refrigerator. It's a GE brand refrigerator. Frigidaire. Medea, Frigidaire is a... She ain't want to hear none of that. And sometimes the Coke that she sent me to get was a Pepsi. She called everything Coke. Go get me one of them Coca-Colas. Go get me one of them Coca-Colas. I'm in there looking for a Coca-Cola like, ain't no Coca-Cola. I'll take her this. It's a Pepsi. It's not, yeah, the Coca-Cola. No, Medea, that is a Pepsi-Cola. Nope, it's Coca-Cola. It's Coca-Cola. She didn't say that, but she let me say, that was the funny thing, but she always let me say all my little stuff. All my little stuff. She didn't interrupt me. She let me explain it to her. And she'd be like, can I get the Coca-Cola now? Here you go. Here you go. But yeah, I'm not buying no new refrigerator until I can't fix that one. And I'm not no long project. Like if I can't diagnose it and fix it in a day, then I'll give her new refrigerator. I'll give it to her. New refrigerator. But if I can diagnose it and fix it in a day for cheaply, I don't know if that's correct. Janice, did I say that correctly? For cheap? Or is it cheaply? Either way, that's when we can get in the refrigerator. But until then, no. Now, on to the debate. I really got lost on the debate, not hearing a whole lot of stuff. All I really heard was chaos. People talking over people. And I was like, and at one point, somebody said, are y'all going to take control of this debate? And I was like, when the people up there debating realize that things have gotten so out of control that they have to ask the moderators to take control of the debate because people won't stop talking over each other. I said, civility is like dead. I mean, even in this environment where, you know, we done laid out these rules and everybody agreed on these rules and all of that kind of stuff. It wasn't as bad as when you know, Trump and Biden debated that one time, and then they decided after that debate we gonna have to cut off people's mics. But presidential debates should never devolve to that. Look, if Marquetta calls, I'm picking on you a little bit, Marquetta. I don't know if you're even there. If Marquetta calls and get to talking, it's going to be hard for me to get in a word. It's Marquetta. You know that going in. But this is like a pseudo talk show. You kind of expect that. But shouldn't there be a certain level of civility and rule following when it comes to when the people who are saying, I want to be the president of the United States, shouldn't you be able to be succinct? You know the parameters. You've been rehearsing. You got, what, a minute or whatever to make your point, and then you'll get 30 seconds to rebut, and then maybe he'll get another 30 seconds or whatever. You should have figured out how to, hold on, I gotta put the phone stuff up here. Come on. All right, so if someone wants to call, they can call 513-717-5464. But you should have figured out how to get everything in reasonably within the 30, 35 seconds. Like once that bell ring, wrap up your thought. You don't have time to start another thought or get sidetracked. And 30 seconds. Ding, ding, ding. Da, da, da. And so that's why the governor is wrong. But they just kept talking like, oh, I'm not finished. And then somebody else will start talking over them. And I'm like, you want to be the president? You want to be the president? Like, come on. And in my mind, in our minds, maybe just mine, president, you kind of supposed to be to some degree a model of something. I know it's not necessarily the job description, but you're supposed to be to some degree a model of something, like following the rules. You the president, you're supposed to be able to follow the rules. You're supposed to be able to articulate your thoughts or your plans to the best of your ability. Now, look, don't get me wrong. I watch debates to a large degree for entertainment. 99% of the stuff that they say they want to do, they're never going to do. That's not just Republicans. That's politicians. And that's like almost every level of debate with politicians. You watch a mayoral debate, 99% of the stuff they say they want to do, they're never going to do. Sometimes it's because they don't really intend on it. They're just saying what they think is going to get them elected. And sometimes it's because, they don't, just because you're the executive, you don't necessarily in our system of government have the right to just say it is what it is and do it. There's a process that you have to go through. People have to vote and all of that kind of stuff. 99% of the stuff they say they're going to do or that they want to do, they're not going to do. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So I watch it to a large degree for entertainment. What'd he say? The Florida governor, I don't know why his name is DeSantis. On day one, he's sending troops into Mexico to bomb something or another. He on day one, he said he's going to do that. He's not doing that on day one. We all know he's not going to do it on day one. But he said it because that's what his people, he think his people want to hear that. 99%. And, I don't know why, but in this climate, you have to be like abundantly clear. Republicans, Democrats, independents, some third party, whatever. 99% of what they promise, they're not going to do. So you have to watch it, or at least for me, I watch it for entertainment and just to get the general feel of who this person is and what they say they stand for. Who this person is and what they say they stand for. Everything now, though, was, again, from the portion of the debate that I heard, everything is, a lot of it is just about these, what we used to call wedge issues. I don't know, what do they call them now? These, I can't think of the term. It's like social warfare or whatever it is. I can't think of the term that they use. A lot of the stuff now was just these social war issues. Apparently, if the next Republican who gets elected, apparently there will no longer be a Department of Education. I think all of them said they're getting rid of the Department of Education. How long they been saying that? I think Donald Trump said he was getting rid of the Department of Education. It's still there. Everybody they're not gonna do the overwhelming majority of what they say they're gonna do. And they're all gonna do all this stuff day one. Thank you, Blade. Culture war. Blade told me. It's culture war. Hold on, can I say this? I'm going to take a little pause from what I'm saying. Somebody remind me of where I was. Can I say this? Blade, bro, you can be you, man. Feel free to be you. It's okay to have different opinions at different times, to sometimes contradict what you've said earlier, to be nice at one time and then be mean in another time. You should never be mean. But if you are, all of that is okay. You don't have to pretend to be, Blade, Boost, John Davison, Anthony Holloway. I know there's another one that I'm not thinking of. So that's at least 5 people. You don't have to pretend to be 5 people. And you don't have to start posting who is Blade, who is Boost, and then Blade start responding to Boost, and then Anthony Holloway start responding to that. So you got a whole thread of you having a conversation with yourself. You don't have to do that, bro. You don't. John Brown, is that him too? It might. Here's what you do. A Heineke. Yeah, that's another one. That's right. I forgot about Bruce Wayans, Waynes or whatever. Yeah, he a whole lot of different people. You don't have to do that. I know I get criticized for it, but if you listen to this show, one day I'm saying one thing because I'm all hyped up about this thing. And then the next day, I'm saying something that contradicts something that I said yesterday. I meant it yesterday, and I mean it today. Some of us as people, we kind of war against each other. We kind of war against ourselves. So you seem, I don't want to call no name. It seems weird to have all of those different personalities. Bro, just pick one. Pick one and stick with it. I don't care if you call me Little Lincoln or Lincoln Jr. or E-Girl or some of the other Arnold. What's some of the other ones? I can't even think of some of the other ones. I can't think of some of the other ones. But that's okay. Like if you call me Arnold Drummond today, I don't hate you. And then tomorrow, you can, ride my jock a little bit. I don't mean to say it that way, but like, I can't remember which one of the personalities. I don't know if it ain't Boost. One of the personalities like me. And the overwhelming majority of them don't. Like, you don't have to do all of that. You can call me short midget, e-girl, Arnold Drummond looking. Who did you come up with today? Dave Foster looking, e-girl, whatever. You can do all of that, and then even later on in the show, you could be like, you know what? I like your show, and we gonna still be all right. We gonna still be all right. You don't have to do all of that to have different perspectives. Okay. I'm sorry. I just had to put that out there. I just had to put that out there because, you know, it's kind of important. And lastly, on this topic, last thing on this topic, pick one of the personalities. Here's what I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice. Create a new personality. And when you post as this personality, do it normal. And when I say normal, like not in all caps, take time and make sure you spell everything right. Only hit like one space in between words, maybe two after a period. Don't put a whole lot of dots because technically ellipses are just 3 dots. So don't put a whole lot of dots and stuff like that. Like try to make it look like an actual person. Because you always give yourself away with your spacing, with your spelling, with your caps and all of that type of stuff. So then that way you can at least have us fooled. That's it. Just a little tip. Now, what was I talking about before culture wars? Thank you, Blade. A lot of the stuff that people are talking about now is culture war issues. And look, that stuff is fun to talk about. Oh my God. Again, you give yourself away. People don't normally say homie. We know you type like you speak when you be on the air and you say homie. Like people don't say that no more, but you do. So then when you type it, nobody else really speaks like that. So you got to be like, oh, you wrong, homie. And then be like, oh, other people don't really say homie. Let me take the homie part off. And then they won't know that it's me. I'm trying to help you. I really am. Because you could do it. I believe in you. You could do it. You could be provocative and stimulate, because I know that's what you're trying to do. You could be provocative and stimulate conversation using different personalities. You just got to be better at it. That's it. You just got to be better at it. But yeah, these culture wars, I'm not, and again, we are in a day and time where you have to say, because you got to be clear, because there are people out here who are trying to play a game and get people, but people try to shame Democrats for being Democrats. Y'all say y'all not, but, I know y'all are. It's okay. I'm not trying to get you to vote for Republicans. I just want you to stop voting for Democrats. Okay. That's reasonable. You want us to vote for president. It's really, as it sits right now, either the Republican or the Democrat is gonna win. So I'm not trying to get you to vote Republican. I just want you to think about the Democrats don't like you. You're trying to get us to vote Republican. We can see it. And that's okay. Look. I advocate for my position because I think I'm right. I know that makes people mad. You always think you're right. Of course I always think I'm right. Because if I thought I was wrong, I would change my position. You think you're right. And so you think people should vote the way you want them to vote. Nothing wrong with advocating for that. Do that. Do that. Just don't pretend like that's not what you're doing. That don't look good. That don't look good. We can hear you, and we can either agree with you or dismiss what you're saying, but it seems disingenuous when you. It is not a pickleball paddle. I still have my see that Z on there. That's a zapper thing. This thing will zap a bug, and I keep it down here now just in case. So there's a really good chance I'm not going to vote for any of these candidates. But you never know. You never look. When I tell y'all I'm an independent, even though I believe the Republican Party is a hate group, but I'm an independent. Let's say Chris Christie. Say, look, now let's say Tim Scott. Tim Scott has some great, let's say he has some great ideas. Execution. He's a Republican, but he rejects the hate groups. He stands strong against the hate groups that have infiltrated the party. And he's open and outward about it. He shows integrity and all of that kind of stuff. And he's got good ideas. Guess what? I could see myself voting for him. Now, that's not the case. But I'm saying if that were, I could see myself voting for him. But not if everything is culture war, religion. Just come on. Like this political system is not set up for any of us to succeed. If you succeed, it's in spite of the political system. The Republicans ain't putting you in the best place to succeed. The Democrats ain't putting you in the best place to succeed. You know who puts you in the best place to succeed? You. You survey what's going on and you make decisions. You make moves, you know, whatever. Some people make bigger moves than other people. Nothing wrong with that. And I'm gonna tell you, I got some rich friends. And I tease my rich friends for being rich. But I don't get mad or jealous or any of that kind of stuff. Like, make the moves that you make. I don't even ask them like, well, I did ask one friend. Like, can you get me on? Can you get me on? This friend had an opportunity and was in a position to hook a brother up for that opportunity. And it was an opportunity I was pretty sure that I would have been and been making that money. Like, I could have been successful with that opportunity, make that money, and do some. So I did. I was like, I mean, if you got to hook somebody up, why can't you hook a brother up? My friend said no. They had all kind of excuses why they said no. Well, in order to really excel in this opportunity, you have to be able to be really mobile. So you might live in this city for 3 months and then have to move all the way across the country. I can do that. No, you can't. You wouldn't be willing to take. What are you talking about? You making well into the 6 figures and all your moving expenses are paid for and all of that kind of stuff. They are paying you like you get a stipend. So it ain't like, oh, I can't afford to move. You could afford to move, but you don't even have to. They gonna pay and they gonna give you a living allowance that's gonna cover it. And the living allowance is going to cover you if you live in New York City or in California. It's a nice living allowance. So if you end up somewhere like Cincinnati, you just got extra money from the living allowance. No, you wouldn't be happy moving and uprooting and moving around the place. You've got a daughter and you've got I'm like, damn that. She can move with me. I got family who she can be with. I make it work. All I need you to do is go to your boss. Say, hey, let's rap a taste about this dude I know. Let's put him on. No, I won't do that. I won't do that. I'm like, you ain't my friend. Why you hate me? Why you hate me? I'm laughing because I still joke about that with one of my rich friends. But yeah, now I got rich friends and I celebrate them. Just like I was talking about Liz the other day. Look, this is how I am. This is how I am. If you are successful in whatever way, I celebrate you. And like I said, I be proud of people that I don't even really know. You know what I'm saying? I met you. I know you. You're a nice person. And then oh, I got this opportunity and boom, that person blowing up. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like, what you proud? How you proud? You didn't do nothing. You didn't raise me. You didn't contribute to the business. You didn't this. You didn't that. Like, but I am. I'm proud of you. Like, seeing your success makes me feel good. That's who I am. That's who I am. Seeing your success makes me feel good. But a lot of times, you're not getting that success because of the political person in power. I mean, unless, you know what I'm saying, it's because of the political person in power. Like if like me, like, oh, I know the mayor and this thing was happening and the mayor hooked me up. Okay, well then you can be like, the political party in power is the reason for my success, in part. Okay, then you can say that. But most of us who are out here trying to do things, the political party in power, be they Republican or Democrat, don't typically stop us from achieving our success. It's got to be something in you. And, a certain degree of luck. A certain degree of luck as well. Luck and chance and all of that kind of stuff. Like you was in the right place at the right time and you was prepared and you got that opportunity that only you were there for at that time. That happens. I mean, for real, that happens. And then I celebrate you like, yes. Oh man, I'm glad you was in that place at that time. But it's not the political system for the most part that's going to do that. It's not. And especially now, everything is culture war. No, they didn't really. And again, I saw like the last half of the debate. Okay, they talked about fentanyl. They talked about fentanyl. But they talked about it only in the sense of, they don't really want to stop fentanyl deaths. What do you mean? See, you hate Republicans. No. I'm not even going on that. Think about how they talked about fentanyl. They only, or at least from what I heard, only talked about fentanyl couched in the whole, those Mexicans coming over the border, bringing fentanyl. Those terrorists, those drug cartels coming from Mexico, bringing fentanyl. We need to shore up the border. That's the context in which they talked about fentanyl. Taking the horror that is all of these overdose deaths, flipping it to make it a political ping pong ball so that you can use it in your culture wars. Oh, we don't like Mexicans, so let's, we don't like immigrants, well, Mexican immigrants, so let's throw that ping pong ball over there. And oh, we don't like this, so let's. Hey, come on, y'all ain't actually like, what can we do to stop people from overdosing on fentanyl? Let's put together some sort of a commission and figure out exactly what it is that we need to do. Now, y'all like, oh yeah, fentanyl. And so if I say fentanyl and then I tie it with Mexican cartels, then I can stoke more hatred of Mexicans and immigrants, and then I can act aggressively or whatever towards the country of Mexico, which feeds a lot of people's hatred, and I can take and harness that hatred into votes for me. I'm like, what about the people who own fentanyl? Like, it's not as if all the fentanyl is coming from Mexican drug cartels. That's not the case. But that's the way y'all want to couch it, so that y'all can, take that hate and everything, and like I said, take it, maximize it, and then harness it and somehow use it to create votes. See, that's why I say they're a hate group. Stuff like that. Because if they actually wanted to have a conversation about fentanyl and drug abuse and overdosing and how we deal with drugs and what we, treatment facilities and all of that kind of stuff, they could have actually had that conversation. It's not the conversation they wanted to have. But what about the Democrats? I know, I hear you out there coming at me. Democrats ain't having that conversation either. That's the difference. Maybe that's one of the differences between me and a lot of other people. I'm not trying to get you to vote for Democrats. I'm not even actually trying to get you to not like Republicans. I think they're a hate group, but I'm not telling you that you should. If you love them, love them. Oh, wait a minute. My Wi-Fi is acting up. Okay, people saying I'm freezing. I'm freezing. Well, I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to shut it down and reboot the Wi-Fi. That's what I'll have to do. Hold on a second. Kim says, no, you're good. Shahara says, you're not freezing for me. Oh. Okay. Hold on, let me put the chat on. Put the chat on here. But a few people saying that I'm freezing up. And I know Wyatt, when I was watching Wyatt, he was freezing up. Like, he would be talking for a little while, and then he would just freeze for probably about 30, 45 seconds. And then he would come back on. But I was driving, so I was like, maybe it's, the cell signal or whatever. Okay, Marquetta, she says, no interruptions here. Not freezing. Okay, those comments were a while back. I'm no longer freezing. Okay. Tria says, you're freezing. And then LaDonna say, Dag, as soon as I said you good, it messed up. Well, how about this? For some people, I'm freezing. For other people, I'm not. So I'm going to shut it down. I'm going to reboot the system. Give me just a few moments. Give me just a couple moments. Just enough time for the system to reboot. And then I'll be back on. I promise. Not going anywhere I'm gonna unplug it. I'm gonna leave it unplugged for 30 seconds. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. I'm gonna unplug it, leave it unplugged for 30 seconds, plug it back in, and then we should be good to go. All right. So if I'm not even gonna shut this down, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna freeze because I'm gonna unplug the router. I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm gonna unplug the router. So I'm gonna freeze, but I'm not going away. All right. Let's see. All right. When I'm back, somebody tell me I'm back. On my end, it looks like I'm back. On my end, it looks like I'm back. So when you guys get back, just someone type in "we're back" and I'll know that you guys are back. Back. All right. All right, I am back. All right. Hopefully it don't freeze up no more. Everything is booted back up and we good. But of course, the point that I was making, and I think I've made the point, is that that whole debate was just, it was entertainment. There wasn't all that I was disappointed, actually. I was disappointed. And I really did want the moderators to take control of the situation. I want better questions or more thought out responses, but how much better can you do in that format? I mean, when you really think about it, trying to express some complex plan in 1 minute or 30-second chunks is going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. So at this point, it is Sierra, it is publicity. It is publicity. And it's also, popularity. How many people, how much cheering can I get in the house? Because believe it or not, that makes people like, oh, they really like him. I should like him too. It's weird, but that is a for real thing. That's why they play to the crowd to get, applause and all of that kind of stuff. Because just as people, I mean, it's an old school principle, the bandwagon, when marketing, the bandwagon. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? That's bandwagon. That, hey, everybody else is doing it, you want to do it too. It's a marketing strategy. And so they understand that, and that's part of why they play to the crowd. So he got a lot of applause. Yeah, he must have really said something good there. I like that guy. But it's the way it is. It's the way it is. And we're always using these formats. Like I was reading a little bit of the Lincoln Douglas debates. That format was totally different. Like they actually basically gave speeches and had the opportunity to respond. Like it's a totally different thing. I like the idea of a moderator is there to moderate the conversation. One of these days, I want us to have an actual debate. I'll moderate it. Give me Joe Biden. Give me Donald Trump. Tell me your plan, I don't know, to bring down inflation. You have as long as you need to tell me your plan. Well, I think that, we can do so and so and so and so. And, if the Mexicans, don't veer off. Don't veer off. If you're born a woman, you should stay a woman. No. We're talking about inflation. Let's not veer off. I know you got talking points. This ain't that kind of debate. All right, now you told us what you want to do about it. Joe, what do you think about his plan? Or Joe, tell me your plan. No, we're not talking about that. Come on, stick to the subject. Stick to the subject. Hold on, let him get it out. Let him get it out. All right, now you heard his. What do you think? What do you think about his plan? Why won't that plan work? And just talk to us. Like, for real. Tell us the ins and outs. Like, you kind of need to be well-versed. You have to understand it so that you can say, this is why his plan ain't good. And for me, I would love it like, this plan, there are parts of his plan that are really good that I could incorporate into my plan. You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be cool. Like, there's nothing wrong with saying the other guy got some stuff right. Nothing wrong with saying that. But go ahead, talk it out. Talk it out. No, don't yell over each other. Talk it out. Let's have an actual debate of ideas, not just how many of my platform points can I get out and work people up and all that kind of stuff. I don't think we'll ever move to that again. We'll never move to there. Because the way that we do it now, it's fun. It's exciting. You get some good zingers. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he got him. He sounds like Chat GPT. The last guy who came up here and said, okay, well, this skinny guy with a funny name. Okay, all right. This was a good zinger. But how did that help America? So I want to see a whole new debate format. I want to see a whole new debate, not the town hall format, because that's almost the same thing. That's almost the same thing. They done got that down to a formula now. I hate the town hall format. Mr. President, Mr. Senator, I want to know why can my daughter go to a bathroom and I'm not supposed to be afraid that some man's going to come in and then what's your name? What's your daughter's name? Priscilla? Well, look, you and little Priscilla shouldn't have to worry about it. And I'm like, come on, y'all, we got the formula. Walk close to him, get somebody's name, make it personal, tell me an anecdote. When I was in Pennsylvania, I was at this steel plant, and a guy, his name was Harvey. Harvey walked up to me, and Harvey said, my daughter, her name is Priscilla, and I don't know why I keep thinking of Priscilla, and my daughter Priscilla, and she doesn't want to, and let me tell you, Harvey, you and Priscilla won't have to deal with that when I become president. See, Harvey, what you're going through, I'm like, stop it. It's formulaic, it's old, it's tired. You don't give a damn about Harvey or Priscilla. You probably didn't even meet Harvey or Priscilla. Like, what was his name? Yeah, Joe the plumber. His name wasn't Joe. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just, come on. It's old. I hate the town hall format now. We need a new format. Can I tell you one thing that I love? I don't know how I got here, because I had no real intention of talking about this. I love watching Parliament in the British House of Commons. They go hard. And like the Prime Minister, they get up there and they say what they say. If you've never watched it, it's something fascinating that you have to watch. I don't necessarily be knowing a whole lot about what's going on over there, the Labour Party, and I have to admit, I don't always know what they're talking about. But to hear them, some guy stands up from the Labour Party representing, I don't know, some community, I guess. And he's talking to they're in this room, and he's talking to the Prime Minister. And he's, Mr. Prime Minister, why was it that you were caught doing the so-and-so and explain that, and the rest of the party, yeah. And then the Prime Minister had to get up. And he had to say to my good friend from the Labour Party, and he had to answer that right then, right there, right on the spot. And he get his time to make his answer, and he sit down, and then somebody else stand up, and they go hard at him, like the whole time. And he has to. Can you imagine that? Could you imagine Joe Biden has to go to a joint session of Congress, not to give a speech, but for them to ask him stuff like, Joe Biden, bro, your crackhead son got all of this money, and there's a money trail that it looks like it runs straight to you. How can you convince us? What can you say to convince us that you're not tangled up in this mess, Joe? And then Joe had to get up right then and defend it. Like, look, I know my son, has some substance abuse issues, but that shouldn't be the issue. The issue here is I had nothing to do with what's going on there. I think if you look into those records, you'll see whatever. And then somebody else, when he done, get to stand up like, Joe, I saw the records, bro. While your name might not be on nothing, it is super clear that you were used, your influence was used to get him a position that he shouldn't be able to get. How do you think that's okay? And then Joe Biden got to stand up and be like, look, I can't be held responsible for what my son did while he was in the throes of addiction. And then, they be like, and they be booing him, like, boo, boo. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, they don't get kicked out. Like, order. They don't do that. They just boo them, and then they just have to talk right through it. They have to talk right through it. They get to. It is. I've always, since the first time I started watching, I was like, why don't we do this here? Why don't we do this here? They call them on the carpet about like everything. And they have to be knowledgeable and quick on their feet. Ain't no teleprompter there for you to read a prepared speech. Like, why don't we do this? Can we adopt that? We don't need to do with the wig. Can we adopt it minus the wig, dude? But I don't think we'll ever get there. We, in my opinion, in this country, to a large degree, we play politics. I'm quite surprised that we've lasted this long. And when Donald Trump says "Make America Great Again," I don't think he means what I mean when I say we need to make America great again. But we need to get to a point where we don't necessarily fall for the BS. Not black people, not Democrats, not Republicans, all of us. I think if we were at a point where we had debate of substance among our leaders, we would understand issues a lot better. You know, when I watch some of these hearings and stuff in Congress, and I watch the hearings and stuff in Congress. And again, a whole lot of that is just zinger after zinger after zinger after zinger. Little speech meant to zing this side, and then a little speech to respond and get to zing that side, and then, oh, you said this, so I get to say this and zing that side. And none of y'all are actually talking about the issues, even during a hearing about the issue. I know I sound crazy. I know. But if y'all watch it, y'all see they don't talk about issues. And as I'm sitting there, because look, I'll be the first to admit, you know what I'm saying, I ain't been around the world and you know what I'm saying? I've been here, I've been in the Caribbean, and pretty much that, not here, Cincinnati, but continental United States and the Caribbean. That's the extent of my world travel. That's the extent of my world travel. When I hear people, oh, North Korea, I don't know if that's true. I ain't never been to North Korea. And I got a problem believing the people who telling me about North Korea. Because y'all lie about everything else. There's no reason for me to believe you wouldn't lie about North Korea. I'm not saying that you are lying about North Korea. I'm saying, I don't know. Well, you know, Putin is, no, I don't know. I ain't never met Putin. I know what you tell me about Putin. But I know, just like anybody else, we are down with I hate when words escape me. Words that I know. Propaganda. We are down with propaganda as much as anybody else is. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? All right, Putin might not be a good dude, but he might not be as bad as y'all say. Some of this might be propaganda, but then it might not. And if it was like, okay, here is somebody that you can trust, who pretty much always told you the truth, even if it didn't turn out to look good in their favor. And then they're telling you this, and okay, maybe you can believe it. Maybe you can believe it. But we don't have anybody out there who's like that. What politician do you believe is honest? What politician do you believe is honest? They said it, they have a history of just being honest, so I believe them. I can't think of any. But if they were actually talking about issues, now I was saying, I haven't been around the world. And I'm not an economist. But, and I look stuff up, right? I look stuff up to try to understand stuff. I do. I look things up. I read them. I watch stuff about them. Like I was even doing some Khan Academy stuff about economics. I took some economic classes when I was in college. But, that's classes while you're in college. But when they're holding hearings on inflation, I should be able to watch those hearings. And even if I don't 100% understand the economy, I should be able to hear somebody say something and I'm like, let me look into that. Let me look into that. It'll point me in the right direction to research, to help understand what they're talking about. But I'm telling you, if you watch these hearings, you don't get that. What you get is one party saying how bad the other party is, and the other party saying how bad that party is, or how they're not as bad as they're saying that they are. But they don't get into any type of detail. And I think if they did, a lot of us could better understand what's going on with our country, with the economy, with, all of that kind of stuff. But I can't watch any of that stuff for actual information. And you would think, hey, if you sit around and you watch C-SPAN, and you watch C-SPAN 2, and you read this stuff, and if you do all of that, you'll understand. No, you won't. You'll know who don't like who. You'll know who a good speaker is, who give a good zinger. That's what you'll know. You won't know what's the issue. Like when they have people testifying before Congress, they give an opening statement, and then they go around and, like a Republican questions them for like 5 minutes, then a Democrat questions them for like 5 minutes, then a Republican, then a Democrat, then a Republican, then a Democrat. And a lot of times for those 5 minutes, they're not actually asking them any questions. Or they're asking questions in such a way to get the answer that they want. And once they start giving an answer that they don't want, I'm reclaiming my time. Y'all know me. I like to make stuff simple. I know a lot of y'all understand this. But look, if 2 + 2 is 4, and we're having a hearing on whether or not 2 + 2 is 4, and I'm of the party that don't believe 2 + 2 is 4, and I'm going to start by, what is 1 + 1? Well, 1 + 1 is, so I'm reclaiming my time. I'm reclaiming my time. See, it doesn't make sense. 1 + 1 is 3. And so if 3 + 2 is 5, then there's no way that 2 + 2 is 4. Am I correct? Well, no, you're not. I'm reclaiming my time. So they want you to believe that 2 + 2 is 4, but only an idiot will believe it. And you're like, hold on, you got a so-called expert down there. Let them answer your questions. They might be able to lead you to the right place. But 1 + 1 is 2. I'm reclaiming my time because 1 + 1 is not 2. You're like, stop it. Y'all are not actually trying to get information, to get clarity, to get understanding. This is all one-upsmanship. How is that helping us? So that's why I watch debates kind of from that perspective now. It's crazy. And then they go through that all the time. And the other thing about it that always frustrates me, and then I'm finished. The other thing about it that frustrates me is the people that they zing in a lot of times, they not even there no more. They know when it's their turn. And so a lot of them come in and they might sit for a little while until they get their 5 minutes. And then they do their 5 minutes, It's like a stand-up set. They do their 5-minute set, and then when they done, they might sit around for another couple minutes, and then they get up and leave. So Marjorie Taylor Greene came in 12 minutes ago. She sat down. She got her 5-minute set in. She threw her jabs and her zingers and all that kind of stuff. She heard what was said before her. She heard somebody she wanted to throw a jab at, and she already had some prepared jabs. And so she throw her zingers and her jabs, and then she sit there for a few minutes. And so then now this dude from Texas, I cannot remember that white dude name. He the new darling dude, and it's a sister as well. And she, she gives fiery speeches. So she might listen to one of them, maybe two of them, and then Marjorie's up and out of there. Marjorie didn't hear nothing else that was said. Nothing. So it's not even like they're dispensing information to one another. They're not even there. How is that even legal? Oh, we're having a hearing, and then we're going to vote on this, but I'm only going to be here for 12 minutes out of the 4-hour hearing. But that's going to qualify me to vote. When I'm talking about making America great again, I'm talking about if you got a 4-hour hearing, you're going to be there for 4 hours. You're going to ask questions and allow witnesses to answer the questions. You're going to ask substantive questions. That's something you can actually learn from, not just something that reinforces your own point of view. But again, I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think it will ever happen there. But anyway, that's that. So the debate, Trump supposed to be turning himself in. Have he already turned himself in? I'm sorry, I was working today, and then I came straight here. And as y'all can see, I'm a little disheveled. So I haven't had the opportunity to look at the news or watch anything. Has Trump turned himself in yet? I heard close. Just technology is not my friend today. I heard Wyatt kind of getting on people who wanted to see Trump's mugshot. I told y'all, from my perspective, I don't root for anybody to go to jail. I don't root for anybody to go to jail. I said that and I meant it. I mean, unless, of course, you do something specifically to me. I'm saying, you break in my house, I want you to go to jail. I'm rooting for you to go to jail. You steal my stuff and you get caught, I'm rooting for you to go to jail. It's personal. Oh, he did what to your daughter? I'm rooting for him to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? He bust out my daughter's window? Send him to jail. That's the only time I root for somebody to go to jail, which, typically doesn't happen. But I am interested in seeing this mugshot. I want to see the mugshot. Again, because I look at it as all theater. I hope that if they prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did what he's accused of doing, that he has to suffer the same consequences someone else in a similar position would get if they did the same thing. That's as close as I come to hoping somebody go to jail. But I'm not sitting around hoping that Donald Trump get locked up. I'm really not. And it's not because I'm a Republican, because I'm not a Republican. Tria say, what's wrong with us wanting to see his mugshot? Look, I understand the theory behind there's something wrong with people enjoying the misfortune of other people. Something wrong with that. So I get that. Just like I celebrate when I see people achieve, succeed. I don't think mourn is the right word, but I kind of mourn when I see people fall on hard times and things like that. Tria says he's a criminal. I don't know that he's a criminal. Do I believe that he broke the law? Yes. But I don't know that. But even if he did, I just me, and I know y'all got on me, I think last week about this. I still don't understand celebrating when people even get caught breaking the law. I feel bad for people even when they have to deal with the negative consequences of their own actions. Because I just don't joy in other people's misery. Now, look, Anthony, I understand, again, just from the standpoint of the entertainment portion of it, wanting to see his toupee all frazzled. I get the entertainment aspect of it. I do. But deep down, I feel bad when people fall into unfortunate situations, even when it's of their own doing. D says, so if you're not a victim of the crime, it doesn't matter to you. I would like to think that reasonable people heard what I said and didn't hear that. I said, I don't hope for bad things to happen to people unless it's personal. That doesn't mean I want everybody to get away with things that haven't been done to me. I mean, I'm not personally invested in it. So when I said, what I hope is that if it's proven beyond a reasonable doubt that the person did it, that they suffer the consequence that a similar person would suffer under the same circumstances. Let me explain it like this. Because I think that's like super clear. But maybe it's not. So let me explain it like this. People should get what they deserve, good or bad. I celebrate when they get it good. I don't celebrate when they get it bad. I feel bad for them when they get it bad, even though they got what they deserved. Because I don't joy in heartache for others. So it doesn't mean it doesn't matter. Doesn't mean it doesn't matter to me. It just means I don't joy in it. Do you believe in karma? I believe in karma. I met Karma a while ago. She was a nice girl. She didn't give me no play, but, she exists. She was cute, too. Trump made fun of people with, is it cerebral palsy? My sister died of encephalitis at 11. I'm sorry to hear that. But just imagine, okay, he made fun of people. But just imagine, you tell me your sister died of encephalitis at 11. And I'm like, yes, yes, I'm glad that me dead. Oh, yeah. How horrible of a person would that make me? Well, but Marquetta did some bad stuff to people too, so that make it okay for me to celebrate her sister's death. No, it doesn't. It's terrible and tragic. And my heart aches for you because you just now told me this. And I would imagine this happened a while ago. And my heart aches for you. And even if you were my enemy, which you're not, but even if you were my enemy, I still wouldn't be like, yeah, I'm glad her sister dead. I wouldn't. Now, if you got on me too much, then I might say some bad stuff about, because then that would make it personal. But just, what's the point of celebrating misery for other people? Remember, Emanuel, everyone has his/her own opinion. At no point did I forget that. I'm talking about me. I said this is what I do and that I don't understand people who do it the other way. I didn't say they're wrong. I didn't say they're evil. I didn't say they don't have a right to. I'm just telling you about me, how I feel and what I do. That's it. That's it. Janice says, that is a horrible comparison. It's not. You're comparing celebrating someone's misfortune to celebrating someone's misfortune. It's right on point. It's an amazing comparison. Marquetta says, I'm ha he he ho ho all the way to my Facebook page profile. And look, you got a right to do that. I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just saying I don't do it. And the question was asked, why would it be bad for people to, be looking forward to his mugshot? And I'm just explaining to you, at least from my perception, the mindset of why that would be a bad thing. I'm not telling you you have to agree with it. And I understand, Tria. I understand irony. Oh, you chanted, you and your people chanted, lock her up, lock her up. But now look who about to possibly get locked up. I understand irony. I understand and appreciate it. I do. I'm just saying for me. He harassed a 72-year-old. He harassed a 72-year-old woman and her daughter where they were in fear of their lives. That's terrible. So you want to be like him? And again, that's another thing I don't understand. He is so bad that I want to be just like him. What happened to the moral high ground? That's why we don't like him, because he's bad. But if we become him, how did we win? You took the bad dude and got rid of him, and you created within yourself a bad dude to be there in his place. I understand it. I'm not saying I don't understand it. And I'm not even saying it's not a little part of me. Like I said, I understand from the entertainment perspective of it. And I understand the irony of it all. I get karma. Of course, I was being silly. I know I have a slight understanding of karma. It's not a chick that I met who wouldn't give me no rhythm. I have a slight understanding of karma. But if karma gonna get him, then let karma get him. I don't know, for me, and look, I'm saying this is what I think. It's not always what I feel. It's not always what I feel. I have experienced that other part. I have looked at a thing and, without thinking, just felt what I felt. That's what you get. No, 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 no. Don't celebrate somebody else's misfortune. But again, that's just for me. Just like I'm not trying to get y'all to vote Democrat or vote Republican, I'm not trying to get y'all to not be entertained by that man's misfortune. If you're going to enjoy it, enjoy it. You don't have to defend it to me. The question was asked, why would that be a bad thing? And I was explaining why that would be a bad thing. And in that, explaining kind of my feel on the thing. I guess Trump is going to have to moon you. I'm not sure what that means. I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that. Oh, that was something else, of course, that I wanted to discuss. But back to the whole Trump thing. So someone's saying that he turned himself in. Let me see if I can find the mugshot. And just for the record, looking at the mugshot is not the same as hoping something bad happened to him. Once the mugshot happens, it's already happened. It's already happened. Nothing I can do about that. But I would imagine once his mugshot get out, it'll be like on the front page of every website and all that kind of stuff. Okay, they're saying Trump is on his way to surrender. That's what CNN is reporting. Trump is on his way to surrender. Okay. Janice says, I certainly don't celebrate someone's misfortune, but I don't feel badly for them if they worked hard to deserve it. And you got it right. I do. Sometimes. A lot of times. I mean, unless it's just like, even if it's evil, like, this is going to be so bad. This is going to be so bad. I know y'all going to. Maybe I'll just keep that to myself. But whoever you are and whatever you've done, I guess my feeling bad is not necessarily feeling bad like having sympathy for the person. Feeling bad is more wishing that it never got to that situation for that person to have to endure whatever those circumstances are. That's more what feeling bad is to me. Like, oh, that's a shame. I wish it would have never got to this. To me, that's more what feeling bad is. Because it, like I say, you wouldn't be in that situation if you didn't have the whole situation surrounding it. When Trump caught COVID, there were black people wishing him death. That's why I said that there is something seriously wrong with black people, because that isn't normal. Dante, one of my big pet peeves is people making these generalizations, in particular negatively, about black people. Let me explain it this way. When Trump caught COVID, there were black people wishing him death. Guaranteed there were white people wishing him death as well. There were Asian people wishing him death. There were Latino people wishing him death. There were Jewish people wishing him death. There were all manner of people who don't like him agreed terribly, wishing him death. But to take that to say there's something seriously wrong with black people, there's something seriously wrong with people, and why single out? It seems to me a lot of times when people do this, look, I understand the concept of saying things to help people and trying to point out things but when you do it in such a way that it paints an entire group, it vexes me. There's something seriously wrong with a lot of people, but there's nothing more wrong with black people than any other people. There are some defective black people, and there are some defective white people, and there are some defective Asians, some defective Samoans, some defective, just to attempt to diminish a whole group of people. For what? What's the purpose of it? That's what I don't understand. That's the part that I've never really understood when people do that. There's something seriously wrong with black people. Bro, you in America, you in on this planet, there is something seriously wrong with people. To me, the only reason to single out black people as being the group that there's something wrong with is to diminish them. That's not gonna encourage anyone. Saying that black people ain't S don't encourage black people to be S. It would be like your guidance counselor telling you you ain't gonna never be nothing. Talking about, well, I only said that because I thought that would encourage them to be something. No. You're discouraging people. You're diminishing people. I'm trying to help. That's not a good way to help. Not a good way to help. Black people ain't S. Oh, yeah. Well, he said I ain't S. I'm going to be better than he said. I don't know a lot of people. Maybe for some. Maybe some people. Maybe some people are motivated by that. Some people actually do have that. The best way to motivate me to do something is to tell me I can't do it. I'm not one of them people. You tell me I can't do it, I'm like, F him. He don't know what he's talking about. I'm going to do my best. You tell me I can do it, I'm like, thank you for the encouragement, and I'm going to do my best. Because I'm always do my best. Some people, you told me I can't do it. I have to prove him wrong. I ain't caring about proving nothing to you because you don't think I'm S. But again, that's just me. Different people are different. Different people are different. People hate when I say stuff like that. People hate when I say stuff like that. Different people believe different things. Right? Glenn used to get furious when he would say something, and I'd be like, you got a right to your opinion. Oh, thank you for telling me I got a right to my opinion. And don't get mad at me because you got a right to your opinion, bro. You want me to argue with you. I don't agree with you. We both looked at the same set of facts. We interpreted them differently. You came away with one thing. I came away with another thing. We both agreed that what we looked at is factual. We just looked at it differently. So you have your opinion. I have mine. Who's to say who's right and who's wrong? It's opinion. Facts are the facts. We have different opinions, and you have as much a right to yours as I have to mine. Oh, he used to get furious when I would tell him that. He used to get furious. um, what else? What else? Trump is on his way. I did hear Wyatt saying people gonna have shirts with his mugshot on it. I might do one or two. I might do one or two shots with his one or two shirts with his mugshot on it. But that'll be about it. And I'm really only gonna be doing it to practice my CMYK print. But guess who else is probably gonna sell shirts with his mugshot on it? Trump. Hold on. Wait, you did all that preaching and now you making shirts? I'm not making shirts like celebrating his misfortune. I'm making shirts because, irony. Again, I told y'all I understand irony. I understand irony. Maya says, I don't want to wear anything with his likeness on it. But again, I can almost guarantee you he's going to sell t-shirts with his mugshot on it. I can almost guarantee you that. To be a fundraiser for him. He's not like super smart, but he's not super dumb. He's got a mind for certain things. And he understands I really do believe him surrendering today is in part to capture the news cycle. They'll be talking about that Fox News debate. If I surrender, I become the conversation. I don't necessarily think that's if it were me, I might do the same thing. It's strategic. I know y'all all heard the saying that for whatever reason I can't think of right now. No such thing as bad publicity. All publicity is good publicity. They talking about me, and especially him and this turning himself in. Especially this. Every time he gets indicted, he brings in more money. He fundraises off of that. Should be different if he was, walking around like, oh my God, I can't believe I got indicted. Oh, he like, look, they indicted me again. Send me, some money. Hey, they indicted me again. Send me some money. Hey, I'm going to turn myself in. Send me some money. Hey, look at this mugshot. Send me some money. It's fundraising to him. And this, I really do believe, turning yourself in, like, okay, what if somebody at the debate, kill it? And they like, this is your next president. Guess what? He'd have probably turned himself in at 10 o'clock this morning. Because the debate was so lackluster, and he had already said he was going to turn himself in, and he got to do it by tomorrow anyway. He like, I'll do it later on. That's fine. But if they would have been like Ron DeSantis is your next president, he killed it at the debate. There's nobody else. He'd have been like, all right, 9 o'clock in the morning, I'm down here to turn myself in. All cameras would have been on him. That's just smart. That's just smart. What news cycle? Gimme. It's my news cycle, Ron. I don't care how good you did in the debate. It's smart, actually. So he's got a smart mind for some stuff. Right. All these other candidates, they paying millions of dollars. He get the most airtime. He ain't got to pay a cent. I went to CNN. Trump. Let me go to the home page. Donald Trump didn't buy any advertising time on CNN. I think it's this one. Oh, and it goes out as soon as I hit the button. That's their homepage. That's the homepage. The Georgia indictment of Donald Trump. Trump is on his way to surrender. He ain't paid nothing for that. Nothing. How many of those other candidates that was up there debating last night wish that they had that kind of coverage about anything? And again, it would be different if we lived in like regular times where being indicted and considered a criminal was looked at as a bad thing. This is the same dude who said he grabbed women by the vagina and became the president. We're in a new time where they don't care about him doing the worst things he can do, the more they love him. He's like an anti-hero. And he did something else bad. Oh, I love that guy. Fucking A. They would love this. They just got up there and talked and zingered their heart out. And who everybody talking about today? Donald Trump. I don't know what it is that he got. Like, some people just got that thing. He is to them an anti-hero. And no, like, reasonable, sane, clear-thinking person looks at the things that he's accused of doing and listens to him talk about it and thinks, oh yeah, that's reasonable. He doesn't make a good lawyer for himself. If anything, if you listen to him, you're like, oh no, he did it. He guilty. He guilty as hell. He is guilty. But for some reason, they still like, we love him. We love him. He's like, what's them old gangsters that there's one in particular, Jesse James. People still talking about Jesse James. People love Jesse James. I'll be honest, I don't know exactly what Jesse James did because I ain't never been that into criminals. But people love Jesse James. He is that. Like, I'm a criminal, and they like, yes, he says he's a criminal, and yeah, I grabbed him by the vagina, and he grabbed him by the vagina. I wish he would grab me by my vagina. And you're like, how are you celebrating this? I don't know what it is. Did he sell his soul to the devil? Did he sell his soul or something? And the devil like, look, bro, you do whatever you want to do. I'm gonna make it all right. Just do bad stuff. Do bad stuff. Say bad stuff. Act bad. And I'm gonna give you power and wealth. And just when it's all said and done, enjoy your life, because when it's all said and done, your soul belonged to me. And he was like, I'll take the deal. What? I don't understand it. Now, look, I'm not saying he's guilty. He hasn't been tried on any of this stuff. Do I believe he's guilty? Yes. But as of right now, would I convict him? No, because No one's presented the evidence to me to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he committed a crime. So no, I wouldn't find him guilty right now. So I'm not saying he's guilty. I'm not saying he's innocent. I'm saying he's charged. But anybody else? Oh man, the one dude who was having an affair with the girl who turned up missing and didn't come to find out he didn't do it. He was running for president. Couldn't find out he didn't even do it. But just the thought that he might have did it, he was out of there. The dude who was sleeping around on his wife with cancer. He just had some sex. This dude cheated with a porn star while his wife was pregnant. And they like, yes, Trump, Trump, Trump. Like, what? Stuff that has been the kiss of death for other candidates. He raises money off of. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he sold his soul or not. Who was the guy? Who was the guy who was running and the girl who allegedly he was having an affair with turned up dead and people thought it was him? But then come to find out later it wasn't him. What was her? Her name was Cassandra something or another. I can't think of it. Howard Dean. This is not the guy I was talking about. Howard Dean said, yeah, or whatever it was, and he was out. He was out. He didn't grab no vagina. He didn't keep no documents he wasn't supposed to keep. He didn't try to overthrow the government. He said, yeah, whatever. That was it. And he was out. Levy. Yeah, that was her name. But who was the candidate? Who was the candidate who was tied to her? I don't remember the candidate's name. Chandra Levy. And wearing a hat of any kind used to be the kiss of death for presidential candidates. Gary Condit. Gary Condit. It was Gary Condit, wasn't it? Yeah, remember ran against Bush. I think he ran against Bush. Did he run against? But he had on the he got in the tank and put on the little helmet. What was his name? He was the Democrat. He got in the tank. He put on the helmet and looked like he looked a little silly. That was it. It was over. He was out. I mean, he did some other stuff. Like was that the dude that they Dukakis? Yes. And I mean, that was the one who they tied to Willie Horton and all that stuff too. So there was some other stuff. But in the tank with the hat on, that was it. That was enough. That was it. I was going to say he looked a little bit like a clown, but he didn't look like an actual clown. But he looked weird. He looked weird, like a grown man playing dress up. Think of all the stuff this dude Trump has done, and none of this stuff is sticking. Nothing sticks to him. I don't know if he sold his soul. He might have sold his soul. But anyway, that's that. Apparently he's turned himself in. I think I saw where they said 7:30. He's turned himself in at 7:30. Is he Illuminati? I don't know what he is. I don't know what he is. But it's very interesting. His dynamic with his base is a very interesting dynamic. It's a very interesting dynamic. I'm not hating on him. I'm not hating on him. Look, it ain't it ain't his fault that they still gonna rock with him. Let me ask y'all this. Serious question. Cause we like to beat his base up. His base is loyal. His base is loyal. If Barack Obama, we had found a tape, I believe this one was actually a tape. If we had found a tape of Barack Obama laughing about him sexually harassing women or sexually assaulting young women, how many of y'all would have still been on Team Barack Obama? The tape of Barack Obama talking to Roland Martin. Yeah, Roland. I just grab him by the vagina because I can. And when you're a celebrity, they let you do it. We'd have been like, what? No. He can't represent us. No. How many of y'all would have still rocked with Barack Obama? His people still rocking with him. Now, I don't know what that says about his people and us. Okay, that was not a good Barack Obama. It wasn't a good Barack Obama. I'm not claiming that it was. Even though I used to do a really good Barack Obama. I just be curious about it. I don't necessarily know that that's the case, that they rock with him because they think like him. I don't know that that's the case. It's something about him. Dante says, thing is, you make Trump more powerful when you keep effing with him. Who effing with him? Wait a minute. Are you really suggesting, Dante, that the day that the former president of the United States turns himself in on an indictment in the state of Georgia where there will be a mugshot of him, that it shouldn't be talked about? Is that what you're suggesting? That history, you find me, I promise you I'll never talk about Donald Trump again. If you find me a mugshot of a man after he's been the president of the United States being arrested for a crime, I'll never talk about him again. In fact, you give me a pre-presidential mugshot of George W. Bush. Post-presidential mugshot of George W. Bush. I'll never talk about it again. Post-presidential mugshot of Bill Clinton. Never talk about it again. It's the first time, I do believe, the first time in the history of this nation that this will ever happen. And Dante, you're suggesting, just ignore it. Come on, had to talk about it. Want us to be, I mean, you already think we ain't S as black people. Something seriously wrong with black people. So you already think we ain't S. Now you want us to be ignorant and ain't S. Anything that happens politically, don't talk about it. Don't read it. Don't know about it. Just be ignorant. Like, come on. Come on, Dante. And trust me when I tell you, me talking about it to the 59 of y'all watching right now ain't making him no more powerful. Trust me. I know y'all don't necessarily believe everything I say. Y'all don't necessarily believe everything I say. But trust me talking about this right now for what, the last maybe 10, 15 minutes is not making Trump more powerful. The whole Biden presidency was Trump, Trump, Trump. I'm not Biden. I can't speak for Biden. But to be completely honest, when I think back on it, I think Biden has actually done a fairly good job of trying to steer clear of Trump as much as he could. Like, you know, when your policies are opposed to his policies and they ask you about it, you know, what he gonna say? The guy whose name I won't mention. Which actually, he has actually said that. Like, I don't understand what people want people. Like, when Donald Trump was in office, guess who he talked about a lot? Barack Obama. Because that was the guy who was in there right before him. So that was the guy who he perceived he was trying to fix the stuff that he did wrong. You know who Barack Obama talked about a lot? George W. Bush. Because guess who was in office right before him? You know who George W. Bush talked about a lot? Just take a guess. Just take a guess. Don't matter. Take a guess. Bill Clinton. Because guess what? He was in office right before him. Like, that's just the way it works. That's just the way it works. I would imagine that if Joe Biden had gone this far in his presidency and not talked about Donald Trump at all, people would be, see that he's scared of him. That's why he ignores him. He doesn't talk about him because he's scared of him. I would imagine that's what they would say. So, look, there are reasons to not like Joe Biden. Joe Biden's not some perfect dude. He has flaws. But because he's mentioned Trump from time to time, that's not necessarily a rational reason to not like him. Tria says they talking about Hunter and he's never run for anything. Right. Right. And again, there are reasons to not like both candidates. Oh no. Dante, you're not being reasonable, bro. You're not being reasonable. The last 2 years, all you heard was Trump on the Lincoln Ware show. And again, I'm not Lincoln Ware. I can't speak for Lincoln. But here's what I'll say, reasonably speaking. Where has Trump been the last 2 years? Has he been somewhere off by himself, minding his own business? Or has he taken every opportunity that he could to be very prominent in the public. You can't, you can. I don't know that it's reasonable to like be upset with people for talking about somebody who intentionally puts themselves out there to be talked about. He's been holding rallies since he lost. He's been holding rallies since he lost. Where's the last rally that Barack Obama held? Put on himself. Barack Obama was the star of the rally, not somebody else's rally, and they brought Barack Obama in to speak and, to maybe try to get them elected. But Barack Obama said, I'm holding a rally downtown Cincinnati. I got to do one. I'm holding a rally. Okay, I won't do it. I'm holding a rally downtown Cincinnati at Paul Brown Stadium. Be there. When's the last one he did? I bet you can't even think about one because he hasn't. This dude lost the election and started having rallies, and then you're like, well, why y'all talking about him? He's holding freaking rallies. What do you mean? Why y'all keep talking about my Obama? I'm gonna listen to Obama because I have to listen to somebody to do a good impersonation. I'm not Rich Little, So I'm gonna listen to Obama and then I'm gonna come on and do my Obama, and y'all gonna be like, y'all still gonna hate. It don't matter. Y'all still gonna hate on my Obama, even though if I did it like without if I did the fade to black, and then I did my Obama, and y'all be like, what, he in there interviewing Barack Obama? And then I'll be like, it's me. And y'all be like, that was a terrible Barack Obama. But you thought it was Barack Obama. So it don't matter. No matter what, y'all gonna hate on it. Y'all, I got to get out of here. Told you I got a Bible study. It's Thursday. Got to get ready for Bible study. I hope that you guys, I hope you get what you want. Whatever that is. I want to see the mugshot. I want to see the mugshot. Oh, he turned himself in. Hopefully it makes you feel good. I hope you get whatever you want. Hope you have a great day. Whatever you do, wherever you go, however you fit. No, I'm just playing. If you interact with any other people today, do me one favor. Be the reason that somebody smiles today. All right? Till next time, I'm Emanuel Livingston. It's been the Afternoon Experiment. I'm out, y'all. Peace.